Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
In the delicate arena of compliance, every conversation matters. Traditional methods can leave callers feeling unheard, but Ethico changes the game. Our empathetic interview technique reshapes compliance calls into powerful, compassionate interactions, ensuring no crucial detail is missed. It's about creating a conversation that matters, that resonates, that makes a difference. Be the change in your compliance approach. See the transformation for yourself at ethico.com/CPN. Book a demo, try our free ROI calculator, and explore the white paper by Tom Fox, The ROI of Compliance.
The Daily Compliance News for August 15, 2024, the $475 million in fine edition. And we begin with that story from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, Dylan Tokar and Victor Sweesney reporting that TD Bank America, Truist, and a host of other financial firms agreed to pay a total fine of more than $475 million to regulators in the latest years-long sweep focusing on so-called off-channel or ephemeral communications platforms such as WhatsApp and iMessage. Next up, what is the cost of a failure of corruption? Well, according to the New York Times, Boeing is finding out as it is facing a steep climb to catch up with Airbus. It's got to address quality control issues as well as numerous other issues, but basically its culture is broken and toxic. So for the first time, Airbus is now flying more passengers globally than Boeing. The shift of balance of power will be extremely difficult for Boeing to overcome, given the situation they're in and the public's lack of trust in them. From Bloomberg, it reports that the former COO of Trafigura is set for a corruption trial in December. He is not charged directly with corruption, but he's charged with failure to prevent corruption. Now, Trafigura was the trading company that paid a multi-million-dollar fine to the DOJ for its FCPA violations. And if you know anything about the culture of traders, you know, well, that's what they do. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Swiss court will convict a Swiss citizen for the failure to prevent corruption that went on at Trafigura. And finally, from the Financial Times, the FT, the Delaware Supreme Court approved a $267 million fee award for a $1 billion settlement in a shareholder case. Obviously, this is very significant, but even more significant is that we now have basically a 25% attorney's fee approved in a $1 billion plus case. And what does this mean for the shareholders who brought the lawsuit in the Tesla case and Elon Musk's pay package? This came against Dell, but the significance is not to be overlooked, and it could portend a very, 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 very large payday.
As I mentioned at the start of this podcast, this month's sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Have you ever wondered how to show the ROI of your compliance program? Have you struggled with the budgeting process, getting the funds you want for your compliance program? Well, I've partnered with Ethico to put together a white paper on the ROI of compliance, which shows you not only how to demonstrate ROI, but also how to speak finance when you're sitting across from the CFO with your budget proposals. Check out the website and get the white paper.
The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.